Hey guys, it's Deborah. I just did a video on this big X over the United States. My last video was on the eclipse that happens, the second part of it in 2024. It happened in 2017 and then 2024. And I just saw something that I was like, oh my gosh, wow. Like, I just want to share with you guys. Um, I've been saying over and over that basically that prophecy of the vine dresser in Luke 13, it talks about 3 years that the fig tree is like the fig tree is dug around and taken care of and tried to bear fruit for 3 years. And then the owner of the vineyard says, okay, to the person who takes care, the caretaker of the tree, says, fine, it didn't bear fruit for 3 years, give it one more year. And out of nowhere, after a dream about 2021, about 2021 and the tribulation beginning, and I'll explain, is it rapture or tribulation? After that dream, I all of a sudden just heard that parable, and it made known to me. I feel like that's what I was being shown, unless I'm interpreting wrong. This is what I was feeling being shown, is that parable, 3 years, is 2017 to 2020, and give it one more year. Now, I don't know if that's a full year or whatever, but that would be 2020 to 2021. So, yeah, I wasn't giving any dates, but that's what I was shown. And I've made this long video on Rapture 2021. I'm not trying to go over it all over again, but just in case you are new to the channel. So this 3 years, like, if anyone can ever tell me what that parable means, that's fine. What they think it means to them, it's fine. But it never meant anything to me. I didn't understand why the fig tree was dug around for 3 years, give it one more year. But everything's being opened at the end, okay? So here's what I wanted to say. I had done so many, videos and stuff now talking about this 2017 to 2020 time period, being the 3 years and then the one more year. And then when this X marks the spot, I showed how it made so much sense that 2024 was the middle of the tribulation, like a big X, if it started in 2021. And it's like kind of on the cusp of 2020, 2021. Like, I don't know when exactly, but what I'm saying is it's exact midpoint, okay? So I was just watching something today, and it like just flew out at me, and it's like so crazy that I haven't seen this before. And I swear to you, I haven't seen this before. So I'm just going to put something on the screen. I watched this guy's channel. I've watched it for over a year now, okay? It's a channel, End Time Dream and Vision, and I'll put the link to this particular video in the description box below. It happens to be he's talking about an asteroid in this video. But I just want to show you his timeline of the last Trump. It's 2017 to 2024. Now, many of you know this, but I have literally watched his channel for over a year, and for some reason, I didn't even think about it, that this thing I'm making video after video about, that I feel like the Lord is showing me, is basically, like, it's like some important time frame. So 2017, I don't know if what he says matches up with what I'm saying exactly. Like, I can't even remember all the details. Usually I watch videos while I'm like doing stuff with kids or cleaning or something, but I have to look at it more closely. I don't necessarily say I support everything he's saying, but it just jumped out at me. 2017 to 2024. That's what I've been talking about. Like, 2017 to 2020 would be the 3 years, and then 2020, 2021 would be the one more year. Oh, and I'm just noticing he has like this tetrad. Oh my gosh, between 2020 and 2021. There's a tetrad, okay? And then 2021 is when, and then to 2024 starts the first, seems 3.5 years of the tribulation. 2024 would end, he even puts the American eclipse. Like, I'm just saying, I've watched this for over a year and I haven't noticed that it literally is matching exactly what I'm saying. I didn't get this from him. This is not from him. I just can't even believe that right now. So if that's the case, that the X marks the spots in 2024, then you know how a lot of people only think the tribulation is 3.5 years because it says the Antichrist only gets 42 months. Well, he does only get 42 months. And I think the Bible points that out on purpose because the first 3.5 years are very different from the second 3.5 years. Jacob's trouble is a full week because it said the Jews have to fulfill a full week. It's discrepancy when people say the week began, but look, I do not believe it began because of all that the Lord has shown me about who rises first. The overcomers, they rise, they watch the seals open, this whole thing. And then at seal 6, there's like this great multitude. That's the thing. The difference is I do believe it's chronological in that respect, that it shows right after those seals are open. All of a sudden, poof, there's a great multitude that appears in heaven. Do not believe they're beheaded. I believe that they are raptured. But there is a pre-tribulation rapture. I don't even want to like get all weird on you right now. And I could go into it because it's not weird. It's amazing. But I don't want to confuse anybody. I just want to say, wow, this matches up. So basically, yeah, what it looks like is 2020 to 2021 is just, prior to the tribulation, and that 2024 is the mid-trib, and then he gets the 42 months. That's what starts basically, I don't want to get confusing, but everybody is gathered at that point. Everybody's in heaven that needs to be in heaven, okay? And then there's a silence in heaven for half an hour, right? It would be at 2024. That's when Satan's cast down to the earth and he indwells the medicine, sits in the temple. Then he drives out, and I just did a video on how the Jews flee in 2024 after a flood. It all lines up, okay? It all lines up. Some of this you may not understand. I guess watch, if you could, my video on Rapture 2021, and then my last video that I did that says X marks the spot. I guess pretty much all my last like 3 videos, because I also talk about why I believe the 11th hour is 2021, really. It's because it's related to the fig tree prophecy. But okay, I mean, most of you guys know what I'm talking about. Anyway, my point is, oh my gosh, that basically it all lines up. The 42 months would start at 2024 with the X marks the spot, and if America's Babylon is destroyed in 2024 with that big X, they don't help Israel, which matches Ezekiel 38, which matches Psalm 124, meaning 2024 that the Jews flee because there's a flood after them. That's what Psalm 124 says, which matches Revelation that says, I think it's Revelation 12, that, the dragon chases her with a flood, and that's right after that big seal 6 rapture happens. I believe in a pre-tribulation rapture. If you guys know, I believe we're the 24 elders, the old overcomers, those who will sit on thrones with him, and they have crowns. Anyway, that's too deep. Okay, the point is, everyone is where they need to be in heaven by seal 6, okay? Everybody, the man-child is in heaven, but I believe also in the pre-tribulation rapture. Anyway, so the point of the matter is everything by 2024 starts the 42 months. This is crazy. I cannot believe his timeline matches mine, and I didn't even think about it. But this video, I'll link it below. It's really kind of crazy about asteroids and stuff. And I've done videos on asteroids. That movie Greenland, that trailer got taken off, and it kind of portrays people running to bunkers and other people not being able to make it and all this stuff. The one thing I have to say over and over again is remember what it says. It says when the rapture happens, people will be eating, drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage, and it'll be normal life, okay? It'll be normal life. So we have to remember that it will be normal life when he comes. So I don't believe we're going to see all that stuff, okay? The people in the Seal 6 rapture, if you notice, they are hot, they are thirsty, they've been through things. So I don't want to get crazy. It's not crazy, sorry. I don't want to get confusing, I should say. I will just say you can escape all that is coming upon the earth. Pray that you're accounted worthy to escape all that is coming upon the earth. You can escape it all, okay? You can escape it all. And you can escape not all. You can escape only some, depending on the situation. But the point is, you can escape all. That's the whole thing. And those who escape all are when it is eating, drinking, marrying, giving in marriage. So those who are accounted worthy are not going to see those asteroids and all that kind of stuff. And then after the 2024, which starts the 42 months, then there's a silence in heaven. And then you see angels throwing things down to the earth. They're throwing things. It's not seals anymore being open. They're literally whipping things down to the earth. And it says after there's a silence in heaven, it says, don't hurt the trees or the grass or the water and hurt everyone on earth except the ones that are sealed with the mark in their head, which is the 144,000. So after 2024, the 42 months begins when the Jews flee. Everyone will be harmed by the stuff coming from the sky except for those sealed, which is the 144,000. Those are the only ones kept safe. The only ones. No one else is kept safe. No one except those sealed. Read it. It's in there. It's there. That's 2024 mid-trib. Oh my gosh. Now people are asking me, okay, Deb, so where Sorry, somebody has asked me, and this is a good question. Do you believe you saw in what you were seeing about 2021 that it was the rapture, or was it the start of the tribulation? Good question. Okay. Now I want to bring up this 717 phenomenon again. And I do not want to, I shouldn't call it phenomenon, thing that people were seeing, and people related it to July 17th last year. And it was not what the Lord was showing people. But some people used it for evil, some people used it for good. And I still have things going on with this number. Okay. So I don't want to get like into it. But the point is, we are interpreting everything as we go along. The fig tree generation is scripture. That is solid. This is not solid. Like, the enemy can talk through numbers too. But the one thing I will say is, during that 717 time period when so many people were being shown that, I did hear a song about leaving on a jet plane in my spirit a lot. And I didn't even know there was such a thing as a 717 Boeing or whatever. So that was interesting. And I'm going to tie it into about timing of, is it the rapture or is it the tribulation and stuff like that in 1 second. So like I said, this thing I think could still be a thing, and I'll show you why. Like I said, this is not scripture like the fig tree generation. That is scripture. The 11th hour, us leaving at 2021, because that's literally as long as the generation can go. Could we be misinterpreting things wrong? Yes, but I don't think so. So this is why I say it's important. The Davidic coin, when we were all looking at that time period, they came out with this coin, 717. Now, is it the enemy that is like pushing this, trying to get us to know this or whatever? Or is it the Lord? I don't know, but 717, I think it means David, and it also means God's name, Yahweh, or something like that. So that wasn't a fluke, guys. That wasn't a coincidence that happened. That was amazing, okay? So let me tie it into what I'm talking about here with all this 2024 mid-trib thing. Okay, so I looked up in October 2027, which October, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, is the 7th month. Okay, the 7th month in the Jewish calendar. Now, look on the 17th day. It's Sukkot in 2027, which I think is Feast of Tabernacles. So Rosh Hashanah would be the New Year, which is Feast of Trumpets, I think. And then Yom Kippur, would that be Feast of Atonement? And then Sukkot is Tabernacles. Okay, so you guys can correct me on this. That's not my main thing. But what if the Lord had been showing us that we're going to tabernacle together in the millennial reign on 17, which would be October 717? What if he was showing us that he wasn't showing us the rapture? What if that's the end of it all? Okay, we know that on the 17th day in the 7th month, the ark rested on Mount Ararat. That's in the Bible. It rested on Mount Ararat. Sister Genevieve was showing that last year, okay? You think all this is a coincidence? What if that's when it's over? What if that's it? The resting day? Like, I don't know. But 717 is the Feast of Tabernacles. Now, that kind of messes with my head a little bit with this 2021 thing that I was shown. So people are like, oh, do you think it is the rapture or the tribulation? I'm still praying on that now, because he told me the 11th hour. So maybe he was saying it's a tribulation. I was getting rapture vibe because he was saying, I'm going to rescue you right before it's too late. Okay. So I was getting that vibe. I have to pray on it more, but somebody had said to me, if you calculate back 3.5 years from that eclipse, which is April 8th, 2024, you get October some date. Okay. So this coming October, which people are really looking at the fall for this year, right? I've always thought spring. I've always felt spring. I've always felt the fall feasts were going to be fulfilled, boom, 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 just like the spring feast. The spring feasts were fulfilled by Jesus in a row. The fall feast, if it's the rapture, then you have 7 years before you have the other feast being fulfilled. I could be wrong. So I've always felt like it was a spring wedding. I've got a lot of spring things through the Song of Solomon, the Book of Ruth, harvest season. It all seemed like spring to me. But I don't know. I just know that I thought the fall feasts were going to be fulfilled one after the next. Okay, that's the vibe I was getting, which would mean the second coming would fulfill them, because then it'd be like one after the next. You have the atonement of the sins of the Jews, you have the tabernacling together, and maybe declaring the year of the Lord because it's the new year, Rosh Hashanah, or I don't know, but the feast of we have the trumpets because it's starting, I guess, and then the Feast of Atonement to atone the Jews' sins, and then tabernacles because we tabernacle together on 7/17/2027. So again, the days are shortened, lest they be shortened, no flesh would survive. So that's why I don't know. I don't know if it's the rapture tribulation. So I'm getting excited, but like this, I'm excited. I don't know what he's showing me about that part. Okay. Yeah, just back to this chart though. This just shocked me. I mean, that I've been watching this so long and I didn't think about the fact that he's giving the same time frame, that 2017 to 2020 would be the 3 years, and then 2021 give it one more year. Israel, the fig tree, and then 2021 to 2024 is the first 3.5 years, and then 2024 marks the X over the states. No one helps Israel when they are being taken over in unwalled villages, which is Ezekiel 38. I'm going into so much. I'm talking really fast. That's how I talk. I'm really sorry. That's just how I have to talk that way, guys. Some people are like, you talk too fast. I know. Just put it on the slower speed. Like, just slow it down. I just do. Sometimes I talk slow when I'm like half awake. There's been those times. But when I'm awake, and then I talk like this. So anyway, yeah, there was so much there, guys. I talked about the rapture. I talked about the seal 6 people. I talked about the 24 elders. I talked about the mid-trib. I talked about, the fig tree generation. I just talked about so much. So I don't want to confuse you. If you click on the link for this video, you'll see really interesting stuff about what could be coming on the earth. And it relates to the bunkers, people going to bunkers and all that stuff. But the overall view that I want to give you guys is that I found a date in 2027 that looks like it could be when we return the 717, the Davidic coin. I mean, that all happened at the same time, and that the ark rested on Mount Ararat on the 17th day on the 7th month. That's crazy. So that's amazing. Could we rest? Could that be it? Could it be over 2027? And again, I don't know what I saw as in the 11th hour being 2021. I still feel like it was the rapture, and I don't know how that lines up. But we're so close anyway that it's not like it matters. Like, it matters, but we're in and around the time. So I hope that wasn't too confusing for you guys. Again, I'm just going off the main thing that I was shown about the 11th hour and that vineyard prophecy, parable, vine dresser, that it was the 3 years and the one more year. And it is about the fig tree. Okay. And I've never heard anyone else tell me what that could mean. I've not heard anyone else tell me what that could mean. And with relation to biblical prophecy, or really just in general, you read that parable and you're like, okay, why are you doing it for 3 years and giving it one more year? And Jesus is specific about everything he says. There's a reason. So I think this is key. I think X marks the spot on 2024, and I think it's all lining up. I'm clear about my views of pre-trib. I'm clear about my views, mainly about that, I guess, that I do believe there are those who are counted worthy to escape all that is coming on the earth. And that's key, because he says that to the Church of Philadelphia. Not everybody's escaping all, and John sees that group, guys. There's that group, and they don't have crowns. But, I don't want to get into that because that's controversial too. I don't want people to be like, I don't, if they don't believe that or whatever. It's important, and I do talk about it, and I think I should talk about it, but this video is more about just this timeline and how I've watched this guy for over a year and have not seen that. And it matches up. It just matched up with this last Trump. I do not agree with every single thing he says, but I do love his ministry. He has a Bible ministry where he gives Bibles to people in India. I would say support that ministry. Get all the Bibles out there that you can get. I totally agree and support that ministry. And yeah, what he's saying here, it just lines up. So I guess that's it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And yeah, I think, that's it. So hopefully that is it. That is really what it is. And I pray that this fall is the rapture, of course, or today really, but this fall. I totally see how that makes sense. And somebody did ask me, do I think maybe I was seeing the start of the tribulation in 2021? When I think about the Lord, what he showed me about the 11th hour, that's a form of a rescue that he leaves it to the last minute. So the fig tree generation, it would be the last minute. But I don't know if he was saying the rescue's at the last minute, or he's saying the tribulation is going to start at the last minute. The last minute being the fig tree generation time period ending. Because once they're 73, they only have 7 years then to get to the end of the 80 years, but the time is shortened. So remember, they don't, like, people are like, oh, they can't go past May 14th. I don't look at it like that because the time is shortened. So they could go a little longer because the tribulation might only be 6 years or 6.5 years or whatever. So that's the part that we don't fully know. I'm just giving you what I do know. What I do know is he said it's the 11th hour. What I do know is I believe the 2017 to 2020 was that vine dresser time frame. What I do know is that 2020 to 2021 is that one more year, I believe I was shown. And what I do think is that mid-trib 2024 time period X over the United States makes complete sense. Oh man, I've gotten so many calls for this video. Lord, just be with me right now. Help me to get this done. And yeah, I rebuke the enemy. Always trying to like interrupt me. Anyway, okay, what was I saying? Yeah, so yeah, that 2024, that would be the end of the mid-trib, and then 2027 could be the seventh month and 17th day could be the Feast of Tabernacles when it completely ends, and like the ark, it rested on Mount Ararat on the 17th day in the 7th month. So I don't know if that's that. So anyway, that's all for now. I guess, yeah, leave a comment or a question below, and I'll put the link in the description box about this asteroid impact video. And again, you don't have to follow everyone's that he says per se. Maybe it's not 100%, but like his ministry is really great about the Bibles. And yeah, this video seems pretty interesting. So I will leave it at that, and I hope it blessed you guys. I will talk to you again soon. God bless and shalom.